How are we going today, everyone? My name is Rakun. Thank you guys so much for clicking on this video. There is this new article that was posted around 4 hours ago as of this recording by Chris Carter that was published with a new interview. Answers from Atsushi Inaba and Mr. Hideki Kamiya. First off, a huge thank you to those who watched the 50th Bayonetta 3 episode. If you've watched the teaser, it is a 3-part episode, which makes it the longest running episode on our series. If you want to check that out, wait until the end of this video. We'll go into detail about what Platinum Games really means. The article does tease if they are going to save Bayonetta 3 for a Nintendo Direct. Now, I don't have my bets on that, but it would be nice watching it with you all live. What I believe Nintendo is going to do with Bayonetta 3 is similar to what they did with Hyrule Warriors. A shadow drop that will literally just stop every Bayonetta fan in their tracks and go to Twitter and Nintendo's YouTube account. The saga of Schrodinger's Bayonetta 3 has been ongoing for some time now, and we're finally starting to see the big picture in terms of why we haven't seen anything from the project. Multiple times these past few months, Platinum, most notably Mr. Hideki Kamiya, has jokingly implied that we should forget about Bayonetta 3 and pleasantly be surprised when we hear from it again. The reason for that is heavily implied to be Nintendo's doing. We actually said this in our 10th episode 8 months ago and our recent 49th episode, where we hypothesized that since Nintendo saved Bayonetta 2, they hold the power in what Platinum Games can and cannot say. I am very sure that Mr. Hideki Kamiya would love to say some stuff about Bayonetta 3, but it's not in his pay grade to say what he wants about a publisher's game. Remember, Bayonetta 3 is not purely self-published, so Nintendo holds it. I think Nintendo said to Mr. Kamiya's publicist that you can go on and make the game with no restrictions. Here's your budget and your time frame, but I don't want any news about the game being released into the public. I am paraphrasing, of course, but I think that's how it went down, and he probably chose progressing smoothly as to what he will only say. Think about it. Someone literally saved your game from dying, and they are kind enough to let you make another one. All they want you to do is not say anything to the public. And I believe it's potentially an M-rated MA15+ game. They are keeping it under the radar to not steer away from bad public reputation and, most importantly, investors. You don't want to lose any of that, especially in this economic climate, so they are playing it really safe. You know the angry translator skit that Key and Peele and Obama did? That's basically Mr. Atsushi Inaba and Mr. Hideki Kamiya. You can see it in this interview, but in the opposite order. Speaking to VGC, Platinum head Atsushi Inaba clarifies they don't have much say over projects they're not publishing. Inaba notes that they respect the publisher's decisions, and then explains that they hope to be more open for titles they are publishing themselves, like Project Gigi. While classic Mr. Kamiya translates Mr. Inaba on saying, "I'll be sharing things online, putting up screenshots whenever I like, for stuff like Project Gigi, since no publishers can get mad at him." Tap dancing around the subject, it appears as if Nintendo wants a very specific PR campaign for this game, and may have been involved with Platinum showing it extremely early. Now, that line is a very interesting point. Did they do it just to hype up Bayonetta 1 and Bayonetta 2 coming to the Switch, or is there some sort of a mysterious marketing campaign using secrecy as a marketing tactic to hype up the game by itself without any PR campaigns? That is really cool. Remember, these guys and their teams are developers that are under Nintendo, and Nintendo is a company you do not want to anger, especially if you're being held onto them by a string. I'm so happy because essentially this confirms our theory that Mr. Kamiya is not the one who's responsible for holding back news. At the end of the day, it's just business for them. So for all you Bayonetta elitists out there, not everyone, don't worry, blaming Mr. Hideki Kamiya for saying he's being inconsiderate to us or that Bayonetta 3 is completely cancelled isn't doing any good. Click this video to see the 50th episode verse 1. Verse 2 will be out as soon as possible. Let me know what you think about this news below. I'm Rakun, and happy theorizing.